What is up, chat? Good morning. Good morning. How is everyone doing? Happy Tuesday, Jolts. Job openings, 10 a.m. Put that on your radar. There is Chicago PMI as well, 9:45. Couple quick thoughts. We never filled a gap yesterday. That's probably my main watch for today. In queue to fill this gap. I'm already in a small short. If you look at IndieX, which is what NQ is based off of, this is what we get. We also have quarterly rebalance today. Dip in the morning, see if we fill this gap, and then we can look for maybe a long or back half long back there. Vladimir and Cliff sliding in here early this morning. What's up, guys? How's everyone doing? We doing all right? Hope so. Hope everyone is well rested. Probably more rested than I am. I am this short. I think we're going to go down much further. We'll see what happens. All right. Some clear areas to watch for. So IndieX, this is the main thing I'm watching for, is this gap to fill that we never filled yesterday. That's the main thing I'm watching. Yeah. Overnight, well, this thing's just going to play out quick. There we go. All right. Let me get this tweeted out. All right, come on. Let's get at least 750 and then let's get down there in 720s. Appreciate that, Cliff. Yeah, I haven't been getting much sleep lately, but it's part of it, right? No complaints over here. Yeah, I just this gap right here. I think we're gonna go ahead and fill that in today. We'll see. So today's the end of the quarter. A lot of times on these days we get this like dip that does like this by the end of the day. So just keep that on your radar. Um, I I've been short since last night. I added back in some this morning. I think we're gonna just crush down here. That's what I think. We'll see. You guys trading anything? What's everyone doing? Boom, new lows, 750. All right, I'm gonna trim off here at 750. I'm looking for 725-ish, really, maybe 730. Let's see, where's NDX? About 20 points lower on NDX. Yeah, KB, that'll be interesting to see how that piece goes. Done for the day. Took that with Cliff. Is there anything better than that? Is there anything better than being done for your day at 9:38 Eastern? Oh my gosh, is Robinhood over 140? Holy. What's Broadcom doing? That's the one thing that I wanted to see play out on the short side. We get back to NQ. So I'm watching this on NDX right here. I want this gap to fill from yesterday, and I'm going to take my next trade. I am with you. I'm with you, Cliff. I'm sorry, KB. Cliff, I'll get yours. Um, yeah, I'm fairly short biased myself. I have some puts that I swung from yesterday on QQQ. Since it didn't fill the gap yesterday, I figured it would today. Sorry, I got like 10 things going around in my head here. Chicago PMI is going to come out in 4 minutes. But yeah, I'm looking for this gap fill. What's NDX? You're looking at the daily 9. Yeah, I see that. 475. Yeah, it's an extra 25 points. Okay. We have that government shutdown thing looming. Do I think it's going to be an actual thing? I don't really, just based on history, but if there's enough headlines, the market may get a little spooked. There was also some comments from Trump and Hegseth about preparing for war with Venezuela and troops on or boots on the ground, basically, in Venezuela. So that sounds a little interesting. The fact that we can make money with a few clicks of the mouse, yeah, that it is insane when you really think about like you can just make money by clicking around. Okay, we did take out previous day's low already. Here's your gap fill on QQQ, a little bit lower. Of course, we left a gap above us that didn't fill. That would have been much better. Right at the open, it would have just filled the gap and then gone. But this works too. Probably would have added some if that happened. Has the U.S. government ever shut down? Yes. The last time was in 2018. December of 2018, it shut down for 35 days. That was the longest in history. It also, like that Monday, marked the bottom of the market for that time frame. So usually it's the fear before, and then it's kind of like when there's a war or conflict too. It's like the uncertainty and the fear before people sell and hedge and all that stuff, and then once you have kind of the known factors, then it turns around the other way. Yes, really strong today. It's interesting. Where's my squawker? My squawker's not on. Well, glad I got a trim. We also whole number right here on ES 6700. All right, there's probably a possible ad spot right there. Jolts is going to be the real data this morning to worry about. What's up, Willie? My new squawker was logged out. Let me get that back up here. There we go. Right. What's one thing you could name why anyone would choose for Edge? It's your question. I'm gonna add a short right here. This is kind of what I'm looking at. I'm not sure what your question is here. All right, 800. Brought my average up a little bit here. All right. Well, I mean, I'm a big fried chicken guy. If Edgeful was food, it's my main course as far as how I trade. I trade based on probabilities a lot. Um, I think a lot of people trade. I think a lot of people trade. What do you call it? Like they trade breakouts or whatever it is. I like trading high probability stuff. So if I know the direction is high probability, I'm gonna take my first trim. I'm nine. My average is actually. Let me make sure this is accurate. My average actually ended up being right here, right there. Yeah, 830 is the bigger level. Sorry to finish my. I'm trying to get this trims this up. Sorry, the so Edgeful to me, I mean, there's the algo stuff, all that stuff's fantastic too. If you're interested in that stuff, like you should check it out. But just Edgeful, the main product itself, having the probabilities, and if you stay on and watch the stream, you'll see me go through a lot of them. But having the probabilities, I think, is just huge as far as what I mean, if you get the direction right, you're a futures trader, especially if you just get the direction right, that's that's half the battle. Um, but yeah, so like it's just knowing that something happens 70% of the time, 80% of the time, that it helps me so much in the direction. So it takes away the emotions and the feelings of a lot of things. I that's where I'm really the most interested in what happens. All right. But yeah, so I mean, and the thing is, I don't know a whole lot of products that really compete with Edgeful. So I guess that would be the other thing. It's kind of like to me, nothing competes with fried chicken. Fried chicken's just the best. Ooh, Harrison, Arkansas, Willie? That's not far from my old stopping grounds. What are you doing up there? You need to go over to the Buffalo National River. Float that river for me. It's I used to go every summer, at least once, sometimes twice. Go float that river. I'm about to get my first trim here. Oh, I wanted 55. It went to 56. You gotta be kidding me. Come on. Sorry, I'll hit all these questions here. I just got this trade going on here real fast. Out of Ponca, Willie, I see that. So this gap fill, it's not it's how do I put this? The gap fill on NDX here is a gap that was left yesterday that wasn't filled. Now, yesterday, the gap should not have filled. Um, really, in my opinion, I mean, it could have, but it was like a really like 50-50 type of thing yesterday, whether that gap was going to fill or not. And because it didn't, I didn't really expect it to fill yesterday. I was looking for previous day's high, and I was on SPY because that was a weaker asset. Once that got there, so look at SPX yesterday. My target was previous day's high, and then maybe gap fill. But previous day's high, we got there right here. We never really filled the gap, we got close, but this was basically my main target. I got short up here. This was my main target for yesterday's trade. Now, once we got this, I closed out everything. NDX was much stronger, so I figured once SPX gets the gap fill, it doesn't get there. All right, I just got all my trims. How many points did I get? 65. All right. Sorry, like I will. I'm gonna hit all of you guys in the chat. I'm just boom. You could probably get long off of that right there. Oh, it didn't quite get there, did it? 4 points away. Sorry, I am managing positions right and left here. All right. So we left a gap yesterday that I did not expect to fill yesterday. Now it filled today. Basically, it, it's basically your gap fill right here. We go break even stop here. We don't let a good trade go red. I'm in runners only. I trimmed heavily because that was basically full target. That doesn't mean it can't keep going, but I trimmed heavily right there. Full target. All right. Trust me, guys. We'll have plenty of time to chat. There's still an hour and a half here with you guys. So I'll hit a bunch of stuff. I'll go over some probabilities, all that stuff, some of the edgeful stuff. So basically, yesterday, because this gap, so we gapped up yesterday over 0.5%. So I I was looking for previous day's high, which on NDX would have been the gap fill, but this wasn't a high probability. The high probability yesterday, based on Edgeful, was this outside day. Where is it? Where's my outside days? Am I blind? There it is. So yesterday, let's look at SPY. Yesterday, SPY bullish outside day, which looks like this right here. You open above the previous day's high, you come back and touch the previous day's high. You open above previous day's range, you come back and touch previous day's high. That's the general thought. That happens on SPY 2/3 of the time, 67%. Look at NQ, which was way higher. That's a 70% on NQ. ES, 82% chance that it happens on ES, and we got it. Oh my man, 7-2 off suit, hitting that long. Yeah. So look, here's my target. Previous day's low, 725, 730 was my target. Look at this bounce off of that. 50 points. Okay, crying baby. New dad problems. Boom. This is it right here. You literally go for, watch out for this Jolts data. You literally get your base hits in and walk away or wait for the next setup. High probability. That is beautiful. Got his scalp, made his 250 bucks, his target for the day, and he's done. That's two people in the chat done for the day. One of these days I'll miss these days. Right now I'm so exhausted. Jolt State is basically in line here. Let me check on this baby real fast. I just got stopped. I still think this could be a short, but I'm out. I got my trade. I'll wait for this next setup. We'll kind of see what happens here. Let me go check on this baby real fast, guys. All right, my wife has to take my oldest to school, and my middle child goes with her, and we try to leave the baby asleep in that little. We bought one of those little fancy swing things, where it like rocks them back and forth and all that stuff. Lost a little. What do you call those things in English? Pacifier. All right, all right. Let me catch back up here with the chat. Okay, so we talked about this. So the gap fill, my primary probability. I don't have a gap fill probability for today. Actually, if anything, the gap fill probability is to fill this gap right here. So I mean, we could literally come up here, fill this gap, and then still come back down. Um, QQQ, yeah, look at this tiny gap up here, 837, which is also our pivot point, I think. It is exactly our pivot point. NVIDIA is flying, new all-time highs. Did we get new all-time highs? Yep. Wow, NVIDIA new all-time high. Boy, if this really gets going. All right, we'll see what happens. So but yeah, the gap fill probability for today, the gap fill probabilities are only day by day. So like yesterday, since we didn't have a whatever it's called, so we didn't have a gap fill yesterday on, for example, on NDX, QQQ, either one. Look at QQQ right here. So we never filled this gap yesterday, but today, I mean, we basically filled it. I mean, you came within. Yeah, on the daily, it's going to look like it filled from the close to the open is the main gaps I watched that didn't fill. But if we look at the daily on NDX, QQQ, either one. So look, this right here. Yesterday we didn't fill it. We left this gap right here. Today, that gap's filled. There was also the daily 9 right here that KB I think mentioned just a little bit ago. And this, yeah, interesting. All right, still wouldn't be surprised to see this thing sell. Still wouldn't be surprised to see us sell. So what do we have so far? We still don't have our first hour of action, but so far we have high form first, low form second over here. We have the opposite over here right now, for now. We did break the 30-minute orb to the upside. ES does like to break both sides of this orb, so put that on there. Buying a new dirt bike. There you go. Willie C, my man Willie C. What kind of dirt bike are you getting? I used to have a Honda 230 with the electric start. I'd take it and ride it all the time up in those areas, up in the Ozarks. I didn't hit the short here, but I think the short still looks pretty good. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I still kind of like the short there. What's up, Bitcoin? Sorry, I'm just catching up on the chat here because I had to. Not only did I have this trade going on, but I had some options that I had to close out on. All right. Well, I'm just adjusting some trims and stuff on some positions. All right. Yep. I still think this sells a little bit. Okay. Catch back up. Take a crying baby over a lippy 9-year-old. Yeah. Let's see, almost 5, almost 3. So both in the next month to 2 months. I have a 5-year-old, or will be 5-year-old, or will be 3-year-old, and a 1-month-old. So I got a little bit of all of it. All right. KVS saw this. That's funny. Be done, but I'm still a complete degen. Yeah, I mean, when I still see probabilities, then I still see probabilities. So, but once I get a few, if I get a win or two under my belt, it's usually easier for me to just go ahead and start shutting it down. Working on a sim account for the last weekend. Thank you for your advice. Seriously, learning how many points. Yeah, but well, learning to be patient is a huge, huge piece of it. Learning, yeah, patience is a huge thing. And yeah, it took me a while to kind of figure out what kind of trader I was. Also, like on the prop firm stuff, trying to figure out like what can I what's the term I'm looking for? What's the risk or reward? Like trying to figure that out. How do I trim along the way? How many losses can I take in a row? Yeah, it took me a little while to kind of figure out that. And like I remember when I was first doing futures, like I was like, at first it took me a while to figure it out. Like not a long time, but like just the intricacies of it. But then I got to the point where I was like, okay, doing pretty well, but I'm just like keeping my head above water a little bit. And but I was trading like all in Q or yes, and so the change that helped me was I went down to the micros, and honestly, I sized down just a little bit, but I went down to the micros, and the biggest change I had was I basically went instead of trading the minis, I went to micros, but I also like I figured out how to like trim along the way. So like being able to de-risk and trim. So like when I get short up here, and I hit trims at my levels. It helps me lock in points where if it does come all the way back. Because imagine if I didn't have set trims or whatever. I mean, this could have come back real fast, real fast. I mean, having that roadmap I think really helped. But sizing down, I figured out pretty quickly. I didn't need. I figured out really quick. Um I didn't need a lot of size to make pretty decent money, especially once I started figuring out some high probability setups in place. All right, let's talk about setups for today, right? This gap up here by probability should fill. Now, what I said earlier and what I think is very possible, and I'm just going to show NDX here because this is the best. If this holds right here, then it's probably going to come. It's probably going to sit here and do something like that. But the general thought process for today, whether it holds here, whether it holds down here, the general thought process for me today is some profit taking, and then something like this, and then end of day we probably come right back up here. That would be kind of the main, what do you want to call it? That would be the main like playbook for the day, I guess, the main trajectory. Just because it's end of quarter rebalancing, you're going to get a lot of buying in the back half of the day as people balance out big institutions, funds, all that stuff. They kind of balance out their books. So we'll see what happens. They don't really have to dress it up though because it's already dressed up. So window dressing's kind of I think out of the question a little bit. So we'll see what happens on that. Oh, you're getting a little two-stroke action. There you go, Willie. Willie, if that gap fill, so on ES, we didn't quite get there, but if ES, even if it comes down a little bit lower, like to 91, 90, somewhere in there. So even if it takes out this low, just because today at the end of the day, you could look for that, maybe that move. The other thing would be, so did we take out, let me see, SPY. All right, let's just do some top-down analysis on SPY. We have not taken previous day's low. We're 15 minutes from that opening candle, which right now is red. We do have the IB is bullish for now, unless this comes down here in the next 15 minutes, which it very well could. So we'll see. QQQ did take out previous day's low, which is what, right here? Where's my, there it is. So we took out previous day's low on QQQ. That means we should not close up here. But in general, that makes me want to look for continued shorts, but I also know where my support's at. So my support is, where's my, oh. All right. So this is kind of the area that I'm watching on NDX. Fail to hold the top, probably go to the bottom. You could also 511 right there. Big spot, 511. Yeah. I basically got everything I was looking for, though. Everything I wanted played out, so what are the horizontal lines on the chart? So which ones? If we're talking about these, like right here, these are just fibs that I drew the other day. Right here. So this is the IV. So this green and this red is the first hour of the market. And then this is the midpoint. This is 25 and 75% of that. So it's just marking that, which we can go over why. If you look at like QQQ, for example, so yesterday, QQQ, there's your high, there's your IB low, and look how important IB low became yesterday. You see all this right here? And then like right here, tried to get back in it, failed back under, rejected it, came right back to it at the end of the day. And then you see like this is this 0.5 minus 0.5. This means of this range. So this IB range right here, this is half of a range of the IB further, and this is the full one. So from like this side is the same as this size. It's literally just range. Some people use standard deviation, whatever you want to call it. All right. And what are you using as your targets for trim? So I'm using levels. Either, I mean, it depends on the trade, but I'm looking for as many layers of confluence as possible. So, like on NQ, for example, I've drawn fibs a couple different directions. So, like, let me. All right, so notice I've drawn fibs from two different levels, and there's right there two fibs from two different areas lined back up. So that's something I want to pay attention to, just personally. Let me take that back off. But that's a level. Previous day's low, IB levels. Sometimes, I mean, sometimes you can just look and say, I mean, I'd probably go to like an hourly. You see all these right here, these kind of highs, rejection point, this area here. Here it was support. So like I know this right 750 is an area of interest for sure. And then down here, there's a lot of action down here, right at 700, 696, 700. So, and then just on a closer look, I mean, you see all this right here. So it's how I kind of draw some of the lines and stuff. But I love how like 7-2 offsuit just like quietly comes in and just crushes the trade, just hangs out, whatever. All right, we got 9 minutes. 9 minutes until that IB. Yeah, where we're at now, I don't really have a read. 750s holds. It's fine. I wouldn't be surprised to come up here and fill this gap. Still have lower highs. ES is much stronger. What's so strong in ES? Is it banks? No. It's healthcare. Semis are really strong today. That's interesting. Semis, I mean, that's heavily weighted NVIDIA. What's up, Bob? If we get the gap fill, we're feeling like a short there. So that, I mean, that's an interesting question. Where that gap fill is, I don't really have a whole lot there. So like the gap fill that's probably a target. It could stop there, or I would look for like this area from yesterday. So 613 up to like really like 640 on NDX, which we go back to NQ. So it's 850s, 860s, down to 830s. I think that's also the pivot point. Yeah, it's also the pivot point. 837. But I think it's going to be easier if this will just sell now. Sell now and then, give it to us later. But basic price action here. Two big upper wicks right now. This is selling pressure. So price is trying to move up and price is getting pushed back down. Once again, price tried to move up, both these two candles. Price tried to move up and got pushed back down. So a lot of selling pressure right here. That makes me think this, just price action wise, wants to continue down. Your EMAs are pointing down. You've rejected VWAP and your EMAs as well. You're under the midpoint of the 30-minute orb for now. Now, ES it's got the same selling pressure, but ES, look how tight this is right here. All your EMAs and VWAP are sitting on top of each other. That's super tight on ES. But remember, ES led us to the downside yesterday, so it being a little bit stronger today kind of makes sense. It almost makes me think, I probably don't want to get involved right here in the middle. So I think that's part of the one of the keys that I've learned that really helped me trade is I get my setup and my setup plays out how I want it to. And then if it's just sitting in this, I just need to do nothing. Because I wanted to short from here to here. I don't have any confluence that we're going to like completely bounce. Now, as soon as it played out, if you scalped it like 7-2 offsuit did, and you just played this bounce like immediately, like, yeah, then I totally get it, right? But without that, I thought price was going to do this. It did it. That doesn't mean I want to jump right back in here, and that doesn't mean I want to try to make it happen twice without some type of further confluence. Oh, get some random volume spikes. You know what they say, don't diddle in the middle. So the 15-minute opening range is here. The IB is here. It's what? Like 20 points difference. The high is the same. On ES, the high's here if you're using 15-minute, and the first hour it's here for now. For another 2 minutes, minute 40. Don't diddle, don't fiddle. Don't do anything in the middle. Hey, Willie's about to go up there to Fiddle Country. Go over to Mountain View where all the folk music's at, not too far from Harrison. Oh, you were talking about Ponca. I love I floated Ponca, but I usually go a little bit further down, like Yellville, that area. I like Ponca too, but just for whatever reason, I normally end up down around, or I think, let's see, yeah, Yellville. What is that? I can't remember what that area is called, but I've floated it all pretty much at some point or another. I've never done the like 2-day float where you camp and all that stuff. Appreciate that. Yeah, Ponca is definitely seasonal. It's because the water in that low water bridge or whatever that they have, like you gotta have decent, yeah, decent rainfall for that to be a nice time of year. The other further down, it's a little bit better. All right, we do have officially our IB now, so let's take a look at the statistics. We have high formed second on ES, which is a bullish one. In Q, we have high formed first. So I have no confluence from this. When one tells me this and one tells me this, that that tells me like I could get really chopped up here. We do have the gap fills that are high odds, so every time Edgeful pumps an update, I get logged out. I just click log back in real fast. I love how often they update. NVIDIA's squeezing out. I wouldn't be surprised to see us go fill the gap to the upside 837 on NQ. Stop short on RTH. All right, so if we look at what's in play, the gap fill, let me go to detailed view. Gap fill, high probability that we fill that gap to the upside. Double break's the most common. This is on SPY. And IV by rejection, this is bullish. Was our first hour bullish or bearish? It was bearish. Okay, so that's the other piece that we have to go off of. Here's where we open the day. Here's where we close the first hour. Slightly red. QQQ, open the day here, close the first hour here. AWM's weak today. Huh. Yeah, so more bullish than, I mean, I'm sorry, more bearish than bullish. Broke previous day's low. Your first hour's red. So QQQ, everything's pretty much bearish on QQQ other than the gap fill. On SPY, you kind of mixed. SPY, you have bullish gap fill and bullish IB to break the upside, but your first hour is red. You haven't touched either side. So you normally touch previous day's high or low. Just more times than not, or closer to the low, I would probably bet on the low. We've got a divergence now with NVIDIA flying. QQQ is in Q stronger. ES and the Russell are getting smoked. I still think it's a possible short here. I think we can short it again right here. All right. All right, I added a little bit. 789.25 is my average. I'm short in Q. The ES much weaker. ES is gonna make it down here to previous day's low. ES break this. KV, you're doing yeah, same thing. I know, right? Without Nvidia, I don't like how NQ's acting really, but I like that I have pretty much, other than the gap fill, I have all bearish metrics to take out this low. Previous day's low is broken. So QQQ, I like to look at QQQ as much. Previous day's low is broken, 71%. We have a red day. There we go. $25 points, take a trim. There we go. Yes, took the low. All right, so now we have more bearish metrics on SPY now too. So we took out previous day's low. ES did break the IV low as well. I expect in QQQ to do the same thing now, right? So here's NQ. I expect NQ to come take this low now. Come on, give me 40 points that second trim. There we go, yes. Just need NVIDIA to cool off. All right, now what? Does it come all the way back? Big reaction there. Need a big rejection right here. Oh, I hate when the music does that. Got right back and look right in the middle of this. So here's your IV, here's your midpoint, right in the middle of that. But I really want down here. Oracle price target. Is Oracle getting hit? All right, wick down and came right back. Dell having a day. Wow. Dude, you're getting a Dell. All right, well, it's a green trade no matter what. ES really needs to reject right here. All right. See if I get stopped out here. It's the same spot. I mean, KB, are you hitting this again? Sorry, Abdul. It's NQ is on my left, ES is on my right. So I'm trading NQ. Sorry, you can't really see. Here NQ. This one's ES. It's gonna hit my stop. All right. Whew. Okay. Well, 2 trades, 2 wins. That trade's still valid, but I don't like this price action right now. And this is still looming above us. And since ES took the low and bounced, it needs to come back and reject, like right here, 05. If ES rejects 04, 05 right here, watch out. Yeah, I hear you, KV. Same spot. See if we reject here. But dad duty while trading is not fun. Oh, I walk away for 2 seconds to get a pop. Microsoft flying now. There's the gap fill. If you're feeling dangerous, you can take one more shot at it here. All right, ESQQQ. I mean, I'm sorry, NQQQQ gap fill. SPY yes, not quite. Yeah, this has been a choppy one. Short the gap fill. If ES did it too, I would. Sorry, guys. I got a screaming baby right now. Which doesn't always happen. Boy, in queue. Look at NVIDIA, guys. Have you guys looked at NVIDIA? Holy. All right, sorry, guys. Got reinforcements now. All right. Did Spy get there? No. This looks like it could get real squeezy. All right. So here's the thing, though. We should fill this gap, but the statistics are bearish. All right. Sorry, guys. A little sloppy stream. Two wins. A sloppy stream with everything going on outside my window. There's your offers. Uh, All right. Yeah, I would have if ES would have worked up here too. I would have felt much better about trying to fade this. So, but here's the thing, guys. So we have the gaps taken care of now. We did break the IB to the upside. We didn't break the downside. We did take out previous day's low. So let me go to QQQ because this is the stronger statistic. This is full. Previous day's low has been broken. That means we should close under here. The first hour was red, which means we should close. So I have two statistics say we should close under here. I also have an end of day or end of quarter rebalancing happening today. Gosh. Stock Talk was talking about this one on our space the other day. All right. Any of you guys doing anything here? I mean, if we get over this area, it could be a long. This thing could get real squeezy. But I'm pretty happy with what I've done this morning. Yes, going for that double break. New high on in Q. Asia highs. Yes, still lagging. Oh, Microsoft is ripping too. Well, Ford and GM launch program 6 use of 7,500 EV lease credit. Come on, yes, fill that gap. Did Spy do it? Spy did it. Okay. SPX didn't do it. ES just couldn't do it. SPX. I'm watching for the last shot at the short. I don't love it though, because we've taken the IB high. Now NQ should retrace back to 800. All right, I'm gonna try it. Light. Where's the midpoint? 717. Well, the Bears haven't taken an opportunity or haven't taken advantage of an opportunity in a month, 2 months. All right, I'm in the short right here. Very light. I will still have a green day even if this trade doesn't work. So I want to make sure that's clear to everyone. All right, so I have to watch out because if this is bullish, this is going to be a break in base here. If it's not, it's going to fail. This right here is what I got to watch, the pivot point. What's our orb high? 831. So SPY and QQQ both filled the gaps. See, if we would have just shorted, so Mario, we were just straight up shorted whenever this gap filled, but SPY still had its probability. But now that that's played out, I feel a little bit better about it. All right, let's see if we can get like that, like 46 points. But I gotta trim somewhere in here. IWM is still super weak. You guys looked at IWM today? That's at an interesting spot, though. Well, ES played out the retracement play already, but InQ hasn't. Break that, come back to here at some point. But I don't like trying to fade this, to be 100% honest. All right, let's see what happens. We can get back down to 37. I'm so light, I really don't want to trim until 8:30. 20 points. Come on. Get me down to here. A little bit more. Give me that first trim, and we'll do this right here. I do it now. On 8:30, give it to me. Oh my gosh, give me the fill. 2 ticks, 1 tick away. You got to be kidding me. Oh, that's not the look I wanted to see. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get out of this. Yeah, I don't blame you. Uh, if I didn't have previous day's low broken and first hour bearish, I would probably be looking to get long. But first hour bearish. I guess we technically didn't take previous day's low on EQ, but come on, give me the fill. I didn't even move it. I love how we have a double IB break. There we go. I'll take another trim at 820, 30 points. Stop's going to down. 858. All right. Come on back to 800. I'm going to trim at 20, and then I'm looking for 805. Just come front run 800. You're on the EMA 9 right here, so. And VWAP. Don't be surprised. I won't be surprised if it holds. There it is. All right, 30 points. There we go. All right. Third winner. Vladimir. Rizzo's always long somewhere, though. I hear him on my other ear. IWM just broke new lows. I'm out half at this point. All right, and so what I'm looking for is the retracement to here. 805. That's why I have 805 as the trim. It's really 804, but I'm front running it. And then we'll look for. We'll go down to runner size. So, like, come on, 805. So what I'm playing here is IB by rejection. When you break the IB, there's like a 67% chance or something that you come back to this level, and then the odds go infinitely down. So this will be my next target, and then I'll take a final trim here. Small runners only, like not even worth talking about. There it is. 805 trim. Boom, 45 points. All right. Thanks, KB. We got like 3 for 3 going on the stream today. Is that what we got going on here? All right. Boy, what a morning. And I had a crying baby twice in the middle of this. I had a winning trade, crying baby, winning trade, crying baby, winning trade. And reinforcements are here. Oh. It's going to be a good day, Tater. I give that 75 points. Let's really have a good day. You know what they say, Cliff? It ain't much, but it's honest work. All I really need to get a post out. Uh, Midpoint. The AB and the 30-minute order midpoint are the same spot. All right. Bitcoin, I have severe ADHD. GG, 75 points. Oh, played it like a fiddle. Oh man, now what? Argus, let's go. Did you hit any of those trades? Wow, new low on ES again. All right. Up 70 points. How far was this? 95 points. Could have got almost 100 points there. I really want this to happen. All right. All right, guys. So as I was going over, thoughts for the rest of the day, pretty neutral. Could be really choppy range day. We'll see what happens. Obviously, if we can sell here, I think we get this maybe into the close. But we have the gaps taken care of. We have previous day's low broken, which means we should close under this. And here was the opening print. We should close under this. So we should close under this right here today. So it's probably a fade against that most of the day. However, I'm not going to get ran over into the close with a lot of buying, right? Same thing here. We should close under this area on SPY, under the where the or actually this area. Sorry, where this opening print is. We should close under that based on the first hour, and the gap fill. Previously low broken, close under the gap fill. That's your two big statistics. I said 3 for 3. I said hit a winner, cry, baby's crying, hit a winner, baby's crying, hit a winner, baby's crying right now. It's a good time for me to close this out. I'll be yeah, I'll probably not do much the rest of the day trading wise. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I got other things to get done either way. All right. Yeah, I don't really have any strong thoughts for the rest of the day, but I'm just glad that all played out. Hope you guys made money this morning. All right, guys. I'm out. What is today? Tuesday? See you guys on Thursday morning. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And over on Wolf Trading. Make sure you subscribe over there and turn on the notifications because a lot of days, like maybe midday, afternoon, we just go live. Friday, we go live no matter what the entire day, but we're starting to work in more live streams for you guys where not just me, but other traders, we're showing our screen, going through our thoughts, all that stuff. But right here for the Edgeful stream with just me and Wolf, of course, Thursday, right at the open. We'll see what happens. Hope everyone has a great rest of your day. Appreciate y'all.